I was halfway through my coffee when that black SUV rolled up my graveled driveway. No plates, no decals, just slow and deliberate, like it knew it didn't belong. Two men stepped out dressed like deputies from a costume store clearance rack. Dark uniforms mirrored sunglasses, and enough nervous energy to tip me off before they even opened their mouths. One of them yelled, "Step out," with your hands up, and flashed something that maybe once resembled a badge. That was the moment I knew this wasn't official, and this wasn't going to end how they thought. See, I'm not just some rancher living off-grid for the vibes. My name's Ray Maddox, and I spent over 2 decades in Homeland security doing things I'm still not supposed to talk about. So when these two clowns said they were arresting me for illegal water storage, I didn't flinch. I scanned. I clocked Blitz, my German Shepherd poised behind the stump, waiting for my hand signal. I kept my hands in the air, but my brain was sprinting. They didn't know what I was guarding. Underneath this land sits a classified water purification prototype, part of a Homeland pilot program. And the moment I saw their cheap Community Enforcement Division patch, I knew exactly who sent them Silver Creek HOA. Let me back up a sec. When I bought this ranch, it was supposed to be my peace. After years of noise and fire, I just wanted silence, brush-clearing early sunrises, and the wind in the trees. But then came Silver Creek Estates, gated, manicured, and full of HOA types who think rules outrank reason. They started with letters. Then came Brenda Rollins, pearls heels, and a contract in hand. She smiled like she owned the ridge. I told her my land's private zoned agricultural, and I'm not signing a damn thing. She didn't take it well. That's when the harassment started. Drones buzzing overhead. Strangers snapping photos by my fence mailbox. Smashed graffiti on my gate. Sheriff said probably kids. I said probably not. So I upgraded everything. Cameras, motion sensors, the works. I kept records. And I waited. Then I built a legal, fully permitted catchment pond, needed it for irrigation. That's what set them off. Apparently, my pond ruined their view. Never mind, they couldn't see it without binoculars and a serious boundary problem. I ignored it, until one morning when those 2 fake cops came pounding on my door. I played dumb, opened the door, slowly hands up, asking what this was about. The taller one barked something about hoarding water and unauthorized construction. One of them flashed that flimsy badge again, barely more than a laminated bookmark. I nodded slowly, gave Blitz the silent command. He launched, took one down hard. I knocked the other guy's gun away and pinned him. Sirens were already on their way. I'd hit my emergency beacon the second they yelled. But just before backup arrived, one of them muttered, "He said you'd fold." That's when it clicked. Brenda wasn't just a power-hungry HOA queen. She was organizing this, planning it, and funding it. The guy I tackled, Jacob Stanton. Homeland had been hunting him for years, fraud, impersonation, espionage, and Silver Creek HOA had hired his old firm. They weren't coming for my water. They were after what was beneath it, and they almost found it. That night, a drone flew over big-armed, not-your-birthday-party variety. I jammed it, crashed it, but it was just a decoy. While I was outside, 2 men snuck into the barn. One tried disabling my monitors. The other planted a bomb by the hatch. Real device. Countdown blinking. I defused it with seconds left, and then she showed up. Brenda Rollins, calm as a breeze, standing in the moonlight, like she was posing for a campaign ad. She said I knew you'd disarm it. That's why I came to talk. I stared at her, holding the device's trigger core. You planted a bomb, Brenda. She smiled. It's not about the law. It's about control. You scare them. You remind people what real power looks like. That's when Deputy Monroe showed up. Brenda ran heels, flying white suit, catching moonlight, and vanished. Next morning, envelope taped to my gate. No stamp. Inside, an aerial photo of my hatch, circled in red. Message clear, they knew exactly what they were after. Later that day, a package arrived, no return address, just a USB. I ran it on an offline laptop. It was Brenda, sitting beside a Homeland file with my photo. Next to her, a man in a gray suit. Cold eyes. Calm voice. Said his name was Vincent Hale. Used to work for Homeland until he went rogue. Tried selling government prototypes overseas. And now he wanted my system. I called Director Keene. She confirmed Hale's name was blacklisted, and now he was operating with Brenda. This was bigger than HOA pettiness. This was organized infiltration. That night they breached the canyon tunnel. 3 SUVs and armored truck tactical gear. They were coming for the hatch. I activated Project Keystone, the last line, a defense system that would neutralize the area with a pressurized chemical vapor. I watched from the ridge as Hale stepped out, scanned the land, then looked up right at me. I waved the detonator, then I ran. The blast roared behind me, vapor pluming into the sky, knocking trees sideways, frying electronics. Everyone dropped. Radios went silent. Hale's team scattered. 2 hours later, we had them. Brenda was found in a nearby condo watching the stream. No more pearls, just cuffs. Hale cuffed and spitting threats, but it was over. We'd won. I still live here. The ridge is scorched. The hatch is sealed. But the land is safe. Every morning I walk the fence line blitz at my side. And every time I look out, I know sometimes you've got to let the enemy get close. Just close enough to lose. Now, I want to hear from you. What would you have done? Did I go too far, or did they just push one man too many steps past his line? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one's gonna stir some fires.